Assalamualaikum and very good morning to Prof. Dr. Wan Azidah binti Muhammad. Today we will present about our mini project is about survey on the readiness of self-directed learning for Form 4 student at Sekolah Menengah Sains Batu Pahat. I, Muhammad Alisha bin Abu Suman, will present about chapter 1 is about introduction. Okay, according to E 1999, learning refers to a change in behavior that is quite fixed and occurs because of experience or training being strengthened. There are a variety of predetermined learning that are problem solving, cooperative learning, self-learning, and so on. According to Sidek and Jamaluddin 2005, self-study is a learning that put learning responsibility on the shoulder of the student themselves. Okay, next is about background problem. First, traditionally based learning will make the classroom feel unattractive and disrupt the student interest in learning. This is supported by Hamdan and Muhammad Yassin 2010, stating that teacher-centered learning is in one way from where the teacher delivers the contents of the lesson and the student only hear. Okay, next is according to Azati 2007, the more sense that are used, the more effective one is learning. This is because different sense produce different response. Okay, next is about the point. According to Hassan and Mushroom 2010, the self-esteem approach is rather difficult as the student rely only on the note given by the teachers. Okay, next is self-learning also cannot be run because the use of internet at school is very limited to students and it is essentially difficult for students to find the information required for PDP. Okay, last about problem statement is the education system in Malaysia is still less emphasizing the aspect of self-learning. Is from Abdul Karim 2003. Okay, next is about our objective. The objective of this study are divided into three, namely, first, identify the level of readiness to teach self-directed learning in terms of self-management of students at Sekolah Menengah Sains Batu Pahat. Second is identify the level of readiness for teaching on self-directed learning from the determination to learning of students at Sekolah Menengah Sains Batu Pahat. And lastly is about identify the level of readiness to teaching on self-directed learning in terms of self-control of students at Sekolah Menengah Sains Batu Pahat. That's all from me. Okay. We will continue next presenting.
Okay, so Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and Assalamualaikum. My name is Wanu Fatihah binti Wali. So I'm gonna present about chapter 2, methodology. Okay, what is methodology? Methodology consists of quantitative and survey-based survey that demand full-time schooling. For that, the Batu Pahat Science Secondary School was selected as the location of the study. The instrument used for the study is a questionnaire comprising two parts, Part A and Part B. The questionnaire developed is divided into two parts. Part A is concerned with the respondent's self-information and Part B is the questionnaire. A total of 40 questions have been developed for the study to measure the readiness of self-directed learning among the students. The questions in section B in the questionnaire were divided in three constructs. The first construct is a self-reliance, which is include item 1 to item 13. The second construct of the determination to study, which is encompasses item from 14 to 25. And the last one is the contract of the letter is self-control, which includes item 26 to item 40. The format software used for this study is the Likert scale. The data collection produced for this study is used the SPSS version 22.0. Next, the descriptive analysis is used to collect data in the form of mean and standard deviation, frequency and percentage. For descriptive purpose, researchers choose to use percentage and mean value referring to research from Jasmi et al. And Hamza Hassan and Lubis 2017. So the table below is show about the mean score and interpreted mean score, which is mean score from 1 to 2 is low, 2.01 to 3.00 is medium, 3.01 to 4.00 is high. Okay, and the sample selection was based on Craigie-Morgan table. The student population was 95 people, and based on the Craigie-Morgan table, the sample of 95 people is 76 people. Therefore, the researcher has distributed 70 forms to the students. That's all from methodology. Thank you.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Kamisani 21 Rosli. For this topic, I would like to talk about the demographics. Okay, in this study, 76 respondents from the whole population responded to the questionnaire distributed. The respondents involved are students of Batu Pahat Science Secondary School. The issue raised in this section are to get respondent background information consisting of gender, age, race, flow, decision, and location. The nation for the respondent is all made up of Malays, and the flow of respondents is all science streams, so no comparison can be made. The results of data analysis in this section are presented in the form of the tables. Okay, for the next slides. Table 3.1, the distribution of frequency and percentage of respondents who answer questionnaire distributed by gender. The male respondent is 30 and the female respondent is 46. Okay, this table to comparison for two male and female. The percent 39.5 and 60.5%. Okay, the next slide is age. The number of respondents 60 years only. Okay, this next slide is this is table. The percent is 100%, and the next slide is the race. The race is only Malay respondents was 76 and 76.0%, and this table. Okay, the next slide is a course. The course this respondent is only a science stream or the science pure, 76 people to 76.0%. Okay, the next slide is a table for the science pure for the respondents. The next slide is results. For results obtained, A is the number respondent with the most score is a 6A is 20 people, then 7A was 19 people, 8A were 16 people, 10A were 15 people, and 9A were 4 people, and lastly 5A for 2 people. Okay, this table for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 comparisons for respondent get A. And the next slide is 3.6. The results of 10B. The highest score was 2B. And lastly 4B. Okay, this next slides had the 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 comparisons results of number of respondents. So the all total number of respondents is 55. And the percent like the before, the 100%. So we divided 4 comparisons for the results for B. And the next slide is 3.7 is a highest score was 1C, and the lastly 3C is 4 people. And the next slide is a table for 3 comparison, 1, 2, 3. For the responder get C. And the next slide is 1D respondents get 1D is 6, and 2D is 2. Okay, this is table. Okay, for responder for get 1E is a 1%. Okay, this table. And the next slide, locations is 2 location, rural areas and the city. Okay, for the city is 20x number of respondents, and the rural is a 40x. So the total number of respondents is a 76. And the next slide is the analysis of findings. The first, second, third questionnaire were analyzed descriptively using a frequency percentage and the means. The data were obtained using like a Likert scale. For Likert scale, I choose 4 scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. 5 scale. Okay, the next slide is questions. The first question is for the self-directed learning deadlines in terms of self-management. Okay, for the item is a 13 in section B. I would like to choose a strongly agree is the B12, and strongly disagree is a 2. For the direct to the point. And the next slide is a degree of self-directed learning deadlines in terms of learning. For the item, it has 12 for the part B. For the strongly agree is a B15, and the strongly disagree is a B24. And the next slide is for the in terms of self-control. For the item have 15 for the section B. So for the strongly agree it be 35, and very disagree be 27. Okay, that's all for today. I would like to talk about. So thank you.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good evening. My name is Siti Tasnim binti Mazki. Okay, today I want to present chapter 4 about finding and discussion for research. Okay, introduction for this section. This study was conducted to identify the readiness of self-direct learning based on the 3 objectives. Based on 3 objectives, we conclude how the result show how can we discuss about the respondent answer this question that we give for them. So first, our objective is identify the level of readiness of students towards self-direct learning in terms of self-management. 2, identify the level of readiness of students towards self-direct learning from the determination of learning. And the third, identify the level of readiness of students towards self-direct learning for the self-control. Finding and discussion for this section focus on the objective set out in chapter 1. What I said before, we have 3 objectives. So finding and discussion is refer for the 3 objectives to answer. We want to answer the objective we create. So this study involved have a 76 respondent. The respondent of the study consists of PT3 student at Batu Pahat Science School. In discussion the finding of this study, the researcher discussed the level of self-direct learning readiness in terms of self-management, determination to learn, and self-control. We have 3 constructs for the research. For the self-direct learning. First, self-direct learning level in self-management aspect. So we finding they showed the finding show that the level of self-direct learners for PT3 student at Batu Pahat Secondary Science School in self-management aspect is a higher level of mean score of 3.900. So for the higher level of mean, we conclude that for the item P12 that the question is I prefer to plan my own learning, get a higher frequency and a higher percentage by answer for the answer for 24 respondent, and the percentage of this question is 31.6 in the very agree choice. Besides, for disagree choice for the P4 question that I have a very tight timetable, get a higher frequency and higher percentage by 2 respondents, and the percentage is 2.6%. So that from the result for the conclusion based on the item we choose, from the analyzed data, it showed that P23 students are more interested to plan their own learning even if they have a solid schedule to manage learning independently or conventionally. Second, additionally, students tend to self-direct learning, but they have a tight schedule problem. Therefore, they cannot manage a good time for self-learning as well as conventional learning. Based on the research below by David and Rahman 2013, India studies state that the teacher were not able to monitor the performance of each student in classroom due to the time constraint and the large number of students. Therefore, students may feel confined with conventional self-direct learning that the teachers has designed. Okay, for the second level of self-learning, the level of self-learning direct the aspect of determination to study. To find show that the level of self-direct learning for PT3 students at SMK Batu Pahat High School determine the high level of mean score is 4.0734. The finding also found that PT3 students state that in item P50 that I happy to learn something new, get a high frequency and high percentage of by 36 respondents, and the percentage we get for this question is 47.4 in the very ugly choice. Besides, students choose disagree in item P24. I want to know something happened, get a higher frequency and higher percentage by 4 respondents, and the percentage is 5.3%. So based on the result from the analysis data, it showed that students are still growing in their desire to learn within themselves and have high determination, but they are not interested in knowing or engaging in things that are not important as well as learning. Based on researcher before it by David and Othman 2015, self-direct learning readiness is a level of individual awareness of their ability that and potentially indirect themselves to learning. Therefore, students need to evaluate and look at their potential indeed to see their level of learning and readiness in learning. Okay, for the last one, aspect is self-direct learning level in self-control aspect. The findings show that the level of self-direct readiness level for PT3 students at SMK Batu Pahat High School in self-control aspect is at higher. Mean score is 3.9929. Based on the mean, the finding also found that PT3 students state in the item B35 that the question is I have a very high expectation for myself, get a higher frequency and higher percentage answer by 33 respondents, for the percentage is 43.4% in a category strongly agree. Besides, students choose disagree in item P27. I like to decide for myself, get a higher frequency and a higher percentage that by answer for From 5 respondents get 6.6%. Based on the result, self-control in learning encourages students to determine appropriate learning method according to their ability. Furthermore, they do not control themselves entirely because they still need the help of interest party to help them in shaping their own attitude and help them in everything and making decisions in their learning. So that students know how to control themselves in learning, how to manage their time, and also how to help them to evaluate and make decisions in their learning. For the conclusion is, self-directed learning emphasizes learning that involves the aspect of professional experience to build a better concept and understanding of the contents of the lessons. Additionally, active involvement in activities and tasks associated with everyday life skill is more meaningful and pure. Hence, the implementation of self-directed learning, which encompasses three aspects that motivate student motivation as a method of teaching and learning, is appropriate and timely with effort towards strengthening the skill of the 21st century among students in Malaysia who are still strongly bound by conventional methods. So that's all from our presentation. Thank you.